As Jamaica them said, good friend better than pocket money.
Welcome to the Shan and Tam Show. Hello, Shan and Tam fam. Today, let's talk about how we can find the purpose inside us that helps us to live a gratitude-filled life and purposeful one. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Shan and Tam Show. So far, we've talked about how we started on this journey.
Yes, we have.
And we had, I dare say, an interesting discussion about living with ADHD. You even got a chance to meet our children.
Our beautiful boys.
Yes, and we're looking forward to many more discussions involving and surrounding them. Today, we want to explore the topic of purpose. The word purpose can feel like a heavy one. I know for me, I felt for a very long time that I had no clue about what my purpose was, and I almost felt empty or guilty about the fact that I didn't know what it was. It really generated a variety of emotions for me when I felt that everyone around me was living out their purpose and I didn't even know what mine was. But I came to realize, however, that this one word can signify different things for different people. And it's our hope today that with this discussion, that in sharing our thoughts and our experiences, that if you haven't already, you can begin to define what your purpose is in this life. And based on your individual experiences, how we can also begin walking in our purpose together.
I agree with you, Tam. Purpose can generate several emotions with individuals. Personally, I always knew what my purpose was. I had experiences as a child and even as an adult when I lived through specific seasons while married. I believe my purpose was birthed in me through these circumstances and situations. Growing up in an abusive home ignited a flame inside of me to push beyond my circumstances and to be better for myself and those around me. I honestly say my purpose was actually birthed through my pain cycle. Because of what I went through, it created a space for me to work with women and children, which is something that I enjoy, I take value in. Working as a frontline caseworker for abused women and children for 8 years was healing and empowering for me in many ways. I was not only able to sympathize with these women and children, I was able to empathize with them, which created such a big difference. I knew what it felt to be an abused child and wife. And I believe that my service to them was more effective as I could relate to their pain. What are your thoughts on finding your own purpose, Tam?
Well, Shan, my journey has definitely been a different one. I questioned myself and my life and my contributions to this world many times. I felt like I wasn't doing enough.
Yes.
And that I was only essentially living for myself, right? And that was through much of my life so far. So even though I had my children, my friends, my family, which filled up a lot of my space in my life, I still didn't feel like I was doing enough. I have to admit that it really wasn't until like maybe the last 2 years that I felt like I was confident and I actually felt like I began to walk in my purpose. I really had to ask myself, what are you good at, Tamara? What do you love doing? What do you think makes you unique and special for this world? And I was thinking, I don't have a lot of money. I am not well known. You know, I couldn't do the things on a grand scale. And so really, what could I do? Like, what could I contribute? And the answers came in a very just soul searching way, and it was quite simple for me, but I feel it was still important.
Yes.
I could love the people who were in my life unconditionally. I could continue to be a shoulder for them to cry on, an ear to listen, and the voice of reason in sometimes very unreasonable situations.
Makes sense.
So I could give my time to children, and I could continue to support and encourage anyone who was in my life when they needed me. And I could give anonymously and humbly.
That's quite interesting, Tam. Yes, I think many people think that if you are not visible with what you are doing, you're not living your purpose.
Right.
Which is not true.
Right.
And I agree with you that your purpose does not have to be one individual thing. It's also interesting that you only identified your purpose recently, because I believe that you can walk in your purpose or find your purpose at any stage of your life. I recall us reading The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren, which is such an amazing book. And he speaks on finding one's purpose and how this ultimately simplifies and brings focus to one's life. Knowing my purpose really simplified things for me. I knew what population I wanted to work with, and I also knew that I would use my talents like poetry, as you know, to reach others.
Which you're awesome at.
Thank you. I use poetry to express my thoughts and emotions, and it was a way for me to also make an impact on people I cross paths with. My poetry served as stories, and when I recite them, it could possibly invoke something within those around me as well.
I totally understand that. And yes, about that book, The Purpose-Driven Life, that made me really rethink how I appreciated the things in my life. I always sort of felt deep within that I was capable of more, and felt also that I could do more. And so simplifying the thoughts around what I was actually good at, it just solidified for me what my purpose is, right? So I also think though that based on the period of life you're in, your purpose can change, and you can go about living that purpose-filled life in a different way.
Really? Can you just elaborate on that a little bit more so that the viewers can understand what you're talking about?
So it just sort of came to me recently, right? I was thinking about where I am in my life now. The fact that I've developed certain skills over a period of time, over the years, through work, through social
like a
things.
video editor.
Shh, don't give my secret away, right? It's just that these things have put me in a different place to be able to contribute in a different way.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So for example, we recently started the blog, right? And now we're doing this, we're doing video. So I think it's a different way for me to be able to offer something to the people who are out there and who are also a part of my life, and even people we don't know, right? So we recently did a piece on the blog about having that warrior inside of us.
Yes.
And on using painful situations, for me particularly surrounding grief, to kind of approach life in a different way. So previously, I'd been able to reach the immediate people in my circle literally by talking to them about my experiences. But now we have the blog as a medium to reach more people. And we also have these videos and social media to reach even more people.
Yes.
So I feel that as my scope broadens in who I can reach, then my purpose and how I carry out that purpose will also change. And that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that develops over time.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I get it. You know, Tam, the other thing I wanted us to talk about is that of having vision carriers.
Right, right.
I think this is essential and crucial to the process of really finding out and sustaining living in your purpose. It's really important to surround yourself with people who understand your vision and try to be consistent with lifting you up and encouraging you to pursue the dreams that you have.
I totally agree.
These are the same people who will push you to have the strength to move when you feel like you don't have it. Because that's important. I remember back in primary school, my primary teacher would say, friends are like the buttons on an elevator. They will either take you up or down.
Interesting. I like that one. I like that analogy. I'll probably use that on the kids, right?
Yes.
So, you know, thinking about what you're saying actually brings to mind the story of the paralytic man in the Bible, right?
Yes.
His friends literally carried him and made a hole in the ceiling to lower him down for him to see Jesus.
Yes.
Right? The man needed healing, and it was his friends who brought him to the place where he could realize that dream. Those are the kind of people I want and I need around me to support and to carry me when I may not even feel like I have the strength to go on.
Exactly. Supports like these are rare. So when you find real people to support you, we have to hold on to them.
Yes.
As Jamaica them said, good friend better than pocket money. We have had several vision carriers with our project, which is, we're so blessed.
Yes, for sure.
This project started as only Shan and Tam, but we have been blessed with several silent partners and supporters, as we said. Our children, our children who have played the role as you know, our beauticians, Paige, she's got it, right? Our makeup artist, Julia, tech team, hype team, AJ and King, and our media team. Right?
Talk about hype team.
Yes.
Right. So don't forget, like, they keep us in check with the language.
Yeah, our merch.
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Our partners as well, right? The men in our lives.
They've been so supportive.
Yeah, they've also been quite supportive. They've been our editors, our tech support, our critics, and members of our think tank.
Yes.
Right? So we even have friends of yours who I've never met that has supported us by purchasing books and giving us encouragement, you know, to help us just along our personal journeys. And to help to just to push us along, which I think that was a very thoughtful gesture.
Yes, Sarah, that she's such a support. Yes, and we have to give prompts to her.
Yes.
It was Tam. And we've also had our logo designed by a family friend, a family member, Chanel, who really did our logo. And we've just had countless support and encouragement from family members, friends all around us. We want to encourage you to find those vision carriers in your life. Think about what you want to do, what makes you feel good, and what you feel are those special gifts that you have to offer this world. As Miles Monroe puts it, the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but life without a purpose. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to our next discussion with you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the show today, Shan Tam fam.
Ensure you hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video.
Send the link to a friend in WhatsApp, Facebook, or even Instagram fam. And of course, don't miss when we post a new video, so hit that notifications button.
Yes. Also, check out the details box for this video for all the links for Shan and Tam's social media and blog pages.